I had to heal my relationship with money. For me, money and love are very much connected, and we build barriers between ourselves and money and love. We don't see the opportunities which are constantly around us. So we have to understand how to build a healthy relationship and loving relationship with money. I feel called to make even more money so that I can create bigger projects and serve the world.
Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of Liberate Your Bliss. I'm your host, Chelsea, and today we're exploring the intersection of money, magic, and living from the heart. My guest today is Anne-Claire, bestselling author of Millionaire from the Heart. She's also written several other transformative books that have touched lives all around the world in both English and French. And her work is proof that abundance doesn't have to come from hustle or burnout, something I could really learn from. It can flow when we live in alignment and when we allow our hearts to lead. In this conversation, she's really going to share with you how to create wealth that's not just financial, but spiritual, emotional, and deeply fulfilling. And together we'll uncover what it means to move from fear to freedom, scarcity to expansion, and how to build a life and a bank account that vibrates with love. So let's dive in. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have
Me
you
too.
on. So this is Anne-Claire. She is an author of 13 books I just found out, which is amazing. And she just gifted me Millionaire from the Heart, as well as How to Succeed as a Wellness Entrepreneur. So I'm psyched to have her on. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for being the woman that you are. I love your energy.
Right back at ya. So we both have dogs that look very similar, and we live in the Chamagi neighborhood, and we're very involved in helping all the dogs there is how we became friends. But then once I saw that she has this beautiful approach about making money from the heart, I just want to know, how did you get to Bali and how did you come up with this mission?
Well, it started a long time ago. I first came to Bali because I had an internship as a young naturopath because I started in natural medicine about 12 years ago. My world was upside down before that, and naturopathy helped me put things in order. And then I started to follow my heart more and more, and I started to make more and more money. So everything was tied up. And Bali is one place in the world where I feel really at home. I've lived in many countries, but this is where I found the most beauty and the kind of people. And I truly feel like there's no FOMO here. I love it all. Like, I don't miss anything outside of the island. It's crazy.
Naturopath, why? So just the pain from growing up, or?
Yeah, I had insomnia, heavy insomnia and anxiety and belly ache, so many different things as a child and teenager and young adult. And it's like there was never a solution. And all the doctors gave me pills. I took sleeping pills, anxiety pills, antidepressant. I took it all. And some of them worked for a little bit, but never on the long run. Also, they had side effects. And then finally, I went to a hospital specialized in sleep. I was 28 or 29, so I had been suffering for almost 3 decades. And finally, someone said, "Hey, you don't have any problems that we can find, like physiologically." They made me sleep with electrodes on my head and everything to study. And they said, "We're going to send you to a naturopath, and she's going to help you. You're going to see she's great. She takes little groups, and she's going to help you." And after 2 months and a half, I could sleep. So I'm not the best sleeper. Like, I see people going on, they go on their pillows and in 5 seconds they're asleep. That's not my case, but I sleep well now. It's just awesome. I learned it. So I had to understand that I was living the wrong way. I thought because my nights were terrible, I had bad days, but actually because my days were not optimal, I had bad nights. So once I understood that it was not only about the nights, it was not only about sleep, but it was also about all other things: work, relationships, money, so many other things. I started to open my eyes, understanding that, oh, maybe I learned it the wrong way.
When did the sleeping issues start? How old were you?
I was very little because I remember already as a child, I was reading all night and I was just awake. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And what was it like growing up for you?
It was not nice. There was a lot of anger. My dad was screaming all the time. And my mom was kind of saying yes to everything that he said. It was pretty heavy. And there was also alcoholism. My brother is an alcoholic. And my mom ended up taking her life 3 years ago. So that's pretty heavy.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you found the naturopath. And that was at how old, you said? 28?
Yeah, 28, 29. And at the same period of time, I started the therapy, like talk therapy for 5 years with the same therapist. And it helped me a lot. I understood that I was always trying to change my family instead of understanding that they are who they are and that I can make the most of who I am. And then things slowly started to shift and I felt more empowered because also I had more energy. It's very difficult to walk the healing path if you have zero vitality like I had before because of not sleeping.
Right. It's amazing. It's very simple when you think about like living in daily vitality, right? We make it so complicated, but it's, did you get a good night's sleep, right? If not, let's heal that, number one, right? If you're not sleeping, the exercise is going to do nothing. You're just going to pump cortisol. It's going to be negative on you, right? Because I actually check my sleep now. Did I get enough rest to go to the gym? Rest is number one.
Yeah.
So that's starting at the root, right? But then it comes into, did you get enough sunlight? Did you get enough fresh air? Did you move enough? And I'm not talking about moving vigorously, going for a walk, right? And these small, small steps. Did you drink enough water? Did you breathe? Did you connect inwards? And those small baby things lead to great sleep. Great sleep leads to better performance leads to more money. Yeah. But I think it really does come down to those very small things that we're not taught. So with naturopathy, I'm really interested in like, what was it that they had you start shifting? Like, what were the things that they moved you through?
Well, first I had to get up every day at the same time, and which was really hard for me because when you can't sleep, you try to catch up, but you're not supposed to catch up. You're supposed to be tired so that the next night you can sleep.
So what time would you get up at?
I choose 7.
Okay.
So I had to get up every day at 7 and then going to bed more or less at the same time every evening too, and not napping, no naps. If you can't sleep at night, you're not allowed to have a nap because you need to be tired in the evening. And I had to learn how to restore myself with, for example, yoga nidra, or just a few moments of sophrology or meditation, you know, reaching that point that you can fully relax and then come back, but not have a full cycle of sleep.
So going into the stillness, you mean, the deep stillness. Yeah. That's probably the scariest place that most people don't want to go.
Yeah, I think that's also why I had trouble letting go, because having trouble sleeping is also having trouble letting go. You have to fall into the unknown and just let yourself go.
And what were the struggles in the beginning with that? Was it all in the letting go and in the surrender?
I think I was a lot hyper vigilant. And I still am in a way, which I think is a gift sometimes because I can see trouble coming. Not everyone sees it. We were talking about COVID, you and I, just before. I saw the bullshit in like 1 second. And a lot of people in my environment, which are more chill, more laid back, they didn't see it coming so fast because they're not hyper vigilant. So there is a gift in there that you can see when something bad can happen, but also you make up stories and then you don't fully relax when you're like that. So I'm trying to find balance.
Yeah, and it is. It's about finding balance in the center of everything, right?
Exactly.
Like, hypervigilance probably was your superpower as a child to know when danger was coming.
Yeah.
Right? But then as an adult, if we're constantly searching for hypervigilance, we're never going to get to stillness because we're going to be consistently pumping adrenaline.
Exactly.
And if you're pumping adrenaline throughout the whole day, it takes a long time to burn that off and sleep.
Yeah.
So the naturopath changes everything. And so then you step into wanting to become one.
Yes, because it was magnificent. Suddenly I understood how to have more energy, not only how to sleep, but then it rebalanced so many things. The way I eat, the way I move into the world, my skin got so beautiful. I just felt so much lighter and so much better that I wanted to know everything about it. And I used to be very much hypochondriac. So I had so many drugs in my pharmacy at home and I threw everything away and I learned how to replace them the natural way. So I was really passionate and I was talking about it to everyone. It was very natural for me to start learning about it, but I never thought I would make it a job. So previously I was working for dating websites. That was my passion. And I was working for dating.
Like which website?
I worked for multiple websites and then I got fired as I was just starting my naturopathic journey. And I guess it was, a sign from the universe, but I didn't take it this way. I thought it was really horrible to lose my job because it made me feel really safe. And I come from a family where my parents were both civil servants. They worked for the government, very stable income. They taught me that there's only one way. You need to have the same income every month. That's the way it works. And you have to think about retirement. You have to buy a house and all the things. And I was so scared to lose my job. And I started to do the same job that I was doing before as an entrepreneur. And I failed twice within 2 years as I was a student in naturopathy. And then I kind of surrendered. I thought, okay, I'm going to finish my studies. I have a little bit of unemployment money coming in. I'm going to do internships. I'm going to finish my studies and I'm going to do the internships and see what comes. And I guess because I was more grounded in myself, I slept better, I was taking care of myself, I felt more secure to be able to do that. And I was just in my early 30s. But I was also afraid because a lot of people around me were building something. 30 young people were growing families, they were buying homes, and I was a student. It felt like I was,
going backwards, right?
That was crazy. I had no money. I was so scared, but it felt so right. This is interesting. It's paradox. And I know that recently you changed your life completely, and you probably know how it feels also to...
Well, it's the scariest. I think this is like a really big thing for anyone watching that's, if you're working a job that you hate, because of that, it's safe, right? That corporate, and it's not everybody. I'm not saying everybody that works a corporate job is meant to go and chase their dreams. Some people really do like that stability. Yeah. But if there's something in your heart that's telling you this isn't right, like you're starting to notice health changes and your body is giving you signals that it's not doing well and you're not sleeping well and you're overthinking and life starts, it could be that your work is the higher priority over, your heart and where you're meant to be. And when I lost my job, I remember thinking, how on earth am I going to survive? Yeah. And I was like, there's no way without this job. And I was making $250,000 a year. And then all of a sudden gone. And I was not somebody that saved money. I lived paycheck to paycheck because that's what I was shown. I wasn't even shown how to save money. It was everything's going to be fine. You'll always have this income. And so when I lost my job, I had to sit. And I remember looking at Andre going, I have nothing saved. I got about 10 grand, And he was like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. And it was just, I'm going to move in. We're going to do this with bills. You're going to put this on hold. And he really helped me do that. But it was really scary. I thought my life was over. And then when he put the deposit down for my healing house that I have now, he basically brought me to a Balinese ceremony and he said, I put this down for you, go all in. And I spent my last $2,000 furnishing it. And the next month I made $40,000.
This is wonderful.
$40,000. And I was like, how on earth did I just make $40,000?
Like life pushed you like a little bird, fly.
Mm-hmm. And then it was like, boom. Yeah. And then that $40,000 though, and I want to talk to you about this as well, I hit that number and then that number became all I focused on was hitting $40,000 again. And I got into burnout because I was overcommitting, overtaking retreats. I was serving so much that I lost complete balance in my life. And I'm like, why do I need that? Why am I expanding my business so big, so quick? What if I just came back to center in more balance and took on the clients that felt good for me and maybe do a little consulting in the corporate world? Does it have to be, And I think that's where for me, I've been, leaning into is trusting that it's not all or nothing, and whatever feels good, do it,
Yeah, but this is a learning. We have to do a lot of tests to know what works for us. Mm-hmm. And this is one thing that I've noticed with people who are highly successful is that they tried a lot of ways of doing things. And what people don't see, because today people, they look at us from the perspective of their phones and they look at reels and posts and they think this is the whole journey, but it's not. There are so many things that people have experienced and this is huge. So I want to say to everybody who wants to be really successful to study what people have done. If you study what people have done, you will understand that they put a lot of themselves into their work and also they really dare to fail.
How many times did you fail before you found your niche?
Many times. Yeah, many times. Also, I started very small, so I'm not an overnight success, and everything I've built is very solid, and it took about 12 years. So for me to reach to the point to making $1 million a year, which I achieved in 2022, and I have not replicated yet that amount, but we make a lot of money every year still. It was a steady growth. And I think it's very important to grow beautiful roots, and then the fruits will last forever.
It's so important to have roots in what you're doing and
Yes.
not try to become too big that you can't hold the
Yeah.
tree. And I think that's how I felt. I think the universe gave me like, you're good here,
Yeah.
but now let's come back and let's build
Take
the
your time.
foundation and take our time and
Yeah.
let's, slowly serve the right clients.
Yes.
The ones that light my heart up, the ones that fuel my soul, and then build from there. And it's really been interesting to watch that. So you started the naturopathy thing, just to go back, and you were writing books about naturopathy. What made you switch from
naturopathy to coaching? Well, that was crazy because I built my business as a naturopath for about 3 to 4 years, and it was working. I had, followers. I had enough clients. I wrote 7 books on how to detox, how to take care of your body and everything. I was invited places. And then I discovered coaching. It happened. I was in Thailand, and I met a coach. He gifted me a session, and then it blew my mind. And so far I had ideas, preconceptions about coaching. It felt a bit shallow. It felt a little bit light and for very ambitious people. And I was in the healing field, I was a healer. I was helping people transform their lives in a meaningful way. And I always thought that naturopathy was more noble than coaching until I cried for 2 hours because he nailed it with the right questions. And then I understood that if I could ask myself the right questions, I could start thinking differently, and also regarding my health. So then I saw how powerful it was. And the quality of your life depends on the quality of the questions you ask yourself.
Wow.
So it's not me, it's Tony Robbins. So basically, if you can make space between your thoughts, and if you can pause and be really present with what is and bring the right question, it's mind-blowing. You change your perspective, you change your beliefs, and then you change your choices and your actions. And then there was no going back, I learned that, and it was so beautiful. And then I was an EFT practitioner. And I went to London to do extra courses, matrix re-imprinting. I don't know if you know about it. It's an EFT modality. And the teacher was also a coaching teacher. And I followed her to India to learn with her. She was an Indian woman. It was an amazing experience. I didn't know I would be the only European person. I thought there would be people from all over the world. I had the best time, surrounded by Indians. Everybody welcomed me so well. That was so cool. And then I brought that back to Paris, and I started to do coaching and naturopathy. At the beginning, for me, it was to help my clients to feel empowered to change. So it was great to have both together, having the knowledge of health education and how to change. And then slowly, I thought, I said it all, I have many books, and I did workshops and online programs and ebooks and stuff. And then I just wanted to coach and just ask the right question at the right time.
And what is your clientele base like now? Who's your favorite clients to work with?
Right now, one-on-one, I only work with entrepreneurs, but I also have many clients in my programs. So I help people make money from the heart. I help people improve their love lives. I help many people. So my favorite people are the ones who already walk the healing path, meaning the people who already regained vitality. Because to be coached, you have to have vitality. Otherwise, you're going to be shaken up and you don't have the juice. So you cannot be burned out. You have to be just outside this journey. You have to have had therapy, naturopathy, Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, whatever you choose to regain your vitality, and then you can challenge yourself. So they're my favorite people. I take them there, like, okay, you didn't like what was before, so then what do you want now? And I bring them to grow a vision for their lives, honor their values, and stop betraying themselves on a daily basis. and then make powerful choices and build an environment and habits that support their choices.
And what do you think is the big thing that gets in the way of people living their life in vitality and living the life of their dreams?
I think it's daring to allow yourself to have a great life. You know, if you've bathed in an environment like me, my parents used to tell me, you're dreaming. Like what you're saying that you want, it's just a dream. It's just impossible in this life. And when you haven't had anybody showing you in your environment what's possible, what's truly possible for you, you don't believe it is. And you see people online, or you read a book, or you watch a movie, and you feel something igniting inside of you, and you think, oh, that's for them, that's not for me, because I'm not made of the same blood. It's not going to happen to me. So the first step is to understand that you too can do it. And it starts with a choice, and it starts with allowing yourself to understand how people did it. And to start to be curious. It's curiosity instead of judgment.
What was the first thing that lit you up, that brought you into your path, right? So then after the naturopath, that was like, it was healing, right? Like I healed myself, oh my God. And then you start talking about it to everybody, right? Because it lit you up.
Yeah.
And that's how you know you value it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something you want to talk about. And when somebody talks about it, it's like the energy changes and you can feel that somebody loves something.
Yeah.
And then, and then it moved into coaching. Like, what is lighting you up right now?
Oh my God, so many things. Well, there's something about dogs and cats in Bali, definitely. And I know you feel activated too. I have felt for a few years that my abundance is not for me. It is for me first. I fill my cup, and then it's overflowing so that I can support others. So I feel called to make even more money so that I can create bigger projects and serve the world. Yeah.
See, and that's, I think, a really beautiful thing is that we can't serve the world being martyrs, right? Like,
no.
If you don't make money, you can't serve the world. And money is not bad, right? And I think there's a lot of people that believe if you're, and I face this myself, stepping into the role as helping others, like, how could I charge for that? And it's like, well, if I charge and I change your life, you get to go change other people's lives.
Yeah.
And then we all make money. And there's no limit to the amount of money that we can make.
No.
That's what I think people don't understand is there's no limit. And if you make money, I can make money too.
Yes.
And we can help each other make money. And the more money we make, then our cups are overfilling and then we can give more.
Yeah.
If we give from empty cups, you're missing the point. You have to fuel your heart first.
Yes.
And I think if people just fueled their hearts, but how many people do you think are actually doing jobs they love?
Not so many.
Right?
Not so many. And you know what? Even in the coaching industry, because I remember having lunch with the wife of a friend, and she said she didn't want to have any coach as friends. And I said, that's weird because you're a coach, I'm a coach. I think coaches are awesome. And she said, no, they're too ambitious, the burnout, I don't like that. And I looked at her and I said, we don't have the same friends because all my friends are also into naturopathic medicine and really holistic views of the world. And so whenever they ask me questions about myself, they ask me questions about my business, but also how do I sleep? How do I feel in my body? Did I take care of myself and everything? So it's much more, it's bigger than that. And I could see that there was a big difference in the way she was experiencing coaching and the way I was. So it really starts with, are you full? Are you full? Are you happy? Are you healthy? Are you overflowing? And can you serve with everything that you are from that space?
Because then you're serving from the heart.
Yes.
Not from the mind,
Yes.
not from the ego. It's, I am so full of love and I want to give you all of my love. And here it is.
Exactly.
Here's the recipe.
Yeah.
Go find it. Find the light. Come back to self.
Yeah.
Burnout's a big thing that I see a lot,
It's
especially
huge.
here in Bali. And I think most of the clients coming in through me are there's 3 words that I get when I have people come into healing space. I'm like, how are you doing? Good. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you're just, you're not going to tell me how you're feeling. That's fine. Busy.
Yeah.
Or exhausted.
Oh my God.
Those are the 3 words I hear all the time. Busy and exhausted come one and it's the same pole, right? You're so busy and then exhausted. So think about sleeping, right?
Yeah.
You were talking about your sleeping. It's like, I can't stay up because my mind's so busy and then all day I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
How do we help people with burnout?
They need to rest. They need deep
Good luck
rest.
telling them to
But
rest.
they need deep rest. They need to come back to what's truly important. And they need to realize that they don't have their priorities in order. If you burn out, it means that you didn't choose yourself. You didn't choose the right priorities. So it's just coming back to what's truly important. And I think people who lose their health, they finally realize that this is why it happened. It's because they lost the priorities.
Like you said, asking questions. How'd you sleep?
Yeah.
How are you sleeping?
Yeah.
How are you showing up?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
When you wake up in the morning, how do you feel and what's on your mind? I used to wake up whenever I had anxiety before. Every morning I was waking up with a racing heart. And I always had bad thoughts at the beginning of the day. Now it's no longer happening. I wake up and I'm like a blank page. And then I hear the birds and my cats come and I feel light and I feel happy. And even if I have something on my plate, because I do, I mean, I run a big company, I have a lot of things to think about, it comes after that. And it was not like that before. It was the first thing on my mind before, years back. But now I feel free from that. I wake up fresh.
And how did you do that? How did you free yourself from that?
I think I made better choices. I think it's important to notice that it takes also a little bit of time so that you can start following your values and who you truly are and make changes in your life so that you feel more aligned in terms of the partner that you share your life with, in terms of where you live, how you navigate your days, how you honor your vision and everything. And then step by step, because it's more aligned, there is some kind of peace which comes. And even if there are challenges, because I mean that's life, that's the human condition, you still feel a certain kind of relaxation inside.
So you're saying that you just got to choose yourself.
Yes, again and again.
Again and again and again.
Yeah.
How selfish. Do you hate that word?
Oh my God. My family used to tell me that I was a selfish person.
Me too.
And actually, my brother came back to me a few months ago and he said, hey, I understand now. It took him years. He really hated me for living and for choosing myself. And now he understands that I actually had to save myself and to walk the healing path, which he's now doing. So yeah, I hope he's going to be well. But you have to choose yourself first, because otherwise you're not going to do anything.
And if we continue to choose everyone else, right, we're choosing a connection out of fear of losing that connection, but we lose ourselves in the process.
Yeah.
And when we lose ourselves and we're looking outside of ourselves, it's insatiating. There's no way to ever get enough of the thing that you need that's here.
Yeah.
In the stillness.
Yeah.
And I remember I was so afraid of like meditation was like levitating under a waterfall for me.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, everything was so crazy and chaotic. And then I came to Bali, and over 2 years I've slowed down. I wake up. The first thing I do, we take the dogs for their walk.
Yeah.
I don't even bring my phone. I eat in peace. And then I go to the gym and I take care of my body.
Yeah.
And then I take care of my clients.
Yes.
And it's in that order: partner, family, me, God.
Yeah.
And then my clients come after that. And that's not because they're not important. It's because I know that if I'm not serving from a full cup, I'm not teaching them anything, and I'm not walking the walk that I want them to be walking.
Yes.
And it's really hard to get to that place, you know? And I think starting a company, when you start working with clients and all you want to do is help them, that can cause burnout too, because then I'm answering texts right away. And did you have to put boundaries on things like that in the beginning to help with that?
Not so much, because as a naturopath, I knew that it was so important for me to have my time and to cultivate that. I had the right foundations, it's like life showed me the way. First, take care of yourself and don't fall back into being exhausted. So I was fine with that. But I wanted to save everybody. So that's a big one. And I think it came from a wound that I wanted to be saved. And I wish some people would have found me and helped me and shaked me and said, hey, there's a way. So I wanted to do that for everyone. I had to understand that not everyone wants to be shaken up, and that it comes at the right time for the right people, and that it's okay to take my time to share the nuggets that I've discovered with the world. And it's okay for people to find me on their own time. And that there is a nice flow to that, and that the more I respect myself and the more I empower people to respect themselves, the more there is a pace for everyone that is healthy. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So let's take care of ourselves and each other.
So the new program that you're doing, Millionaire from the Heart, is the book.
Yes.
And this comes from the program that you have, right?
I have a program which the content is different from the book. It's called Make Money from the Heart. And I've been running it for years now. It's available in French and in English. And it's an 8-week program. And it changed so many people's lives, like 400 people or something.
I can feel it.
It's just, I love it. I love it. I had to heal my relationship with money. So as I like to say, for me, money and love are very much connected. For me, abundance is always everywhere. It's just that we don't have the right glasses to see it. And we build barriers between ourselves and money and love also. So we don't see it. We don't see the opportunities which are constantly around us. So we have to understand how to build a healthy relationship and loving relationship with money. And this is something you can learn, because first you need to unlearn what you've learned before from your family, society, and everything. And then you realize that, oh, there is a way. There are many things that we can work on, but first is understanding that you have a uniqueness, and this is your gift. You have a unique set of experiences, skills, talents, so many things you've developed in this life, and the world needs your medicine. And a lot of people feel that they lack something. They need one more training. They need this, they need that. They don't have the right microphone. They don't have whatever they feel that they're missing to be able to share their medicine with the world. This is bullshit. Start with what you have, and you're going to grow from there. And I feel also that there is something which is very intelligent in the way we grow. For example, I'm a pretty reserved person. I'm quite shy. I had to learn how to speak in public. If you would have given me 30,000 followers 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I would have freaked out. So it's totally normal to be able to slowly, step by step, grow. And it's the same with money. At first, you're comfortable with 2,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month. Step by step, just enjoy the journey, because this is quite a ride. It's a wonderful ride. Just go for it and just trust that it's going to grow if you don't quit. That's one thing that I've noticed a lot, is that people just give up too soon. They give up too soon because they burn out, for example. They give it all and then it's too much, so then it backfires. Or they have no results and they think nothing is happening. Well, you don't see the results quite yet. Like, I'm going to the gym. I've been going to the gym for 3 months. I don't see yet so much difference when I look at my body in the mirror. I'm new at the gym. But a year from now, I'm pretty sure that if I keep going 3 times per week, my body will be very different. Mm-hmm. And it's the same with money. Maybe you don't see it yet, but the roots are growing really deep, and then you're going to have fruits forever. So just trust and keep going.
And it's consistency too, right? And as long as you're loving what you're doing and enjoying the ride, it shouldn't be so painful, right? Like, I can understand if you're growing roots and it's like every day you're getting out there and you're digging holes, and you know, something like really physical, and that's going to exhaust you. Yeah. But if every day you're waking up and you're like, I can't wait to serve my clients. And like, so for right now, we just kicked off our new training I've basically taken the 12 years of spiritual work that I've done with my best friend, who's now become my co-founder and co-partner in this energetics thing. And we've come together to create what we wished we had over the 12 years of healing, how to teach it in a way that makes sense and move people through the shadows, but not so crazily. And it's like, right now it's just grounding, right? Like, it's just, we're receiving it, we're grounding it, and we're building it. And every time I step in that little wooden house I have, even serving 2 people, I could make not $1, and I would be happy doing it. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's going to build from there, because there's magic happening in there, and people's lives are changing. Yeah. And my life is changing, because as the coach, you're forever the student. Yeah. You know, I always say that. I'm like, as I've stepped into becoming a teacher, I'm now learning at a rapid pace through what's mirroring back to me and my clients. And it's constantly me doing deeper work of how can I show up for myself now that this has come in. And I think it's such a gift to enjoy the ride. I'm not in a rush anymore. And that has made things so much easier on my nervous system, you know? Yeah. Because it was crazy in the beginning. That's when really it's like, you know, I've now quit my corporate job, and now it's like, what are you going to do? Yeah. And it's, I don't know. Yeah. You know, how am I going to get to that number? Yeah. But it's like, what if it wasn't about the number?
No.
Right? What if it was, I'm leaving limitation.
Yeah.
Which looks like safety. It's mirroring safety because it's stability.
Yeah.
But I'm leaving that for abundance
Yes.
and unlimited opportunity.
Yes.
And that it's, you feel it.
It's magical. It's truly magical. I never thought that I could achieve what I've achieved in this life. And I'm only 42. This is crazy. I mean, I feel like I'm only starting. There is a question I would like to give to everyone listening to us. It's, if you were to have all the money and all the time in the world, what would you do?
I ask that almost every inner child healing class.
Yeah.
If money didn't matter, time didn't matter, and nobody was watching or judging,
That's a good one too.
what would you do?
Yeah.
And I would be living my life.
Yes.
This
Exactly.
way.
Yeah.
There's nothing I would really change.
Yeah. And if the answer is too far from what you're currently living, then you need to make adjustments. And it doesn't have to be, from 0 to 10 right away. You can do it incrementally. And also for the people listening to us, I don't recommend to put yourself in danger. Don't do anything crazy. If you need to keep a job or to get a new job so that you can feel secure, do it. It's important. I've had many jobs at the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, and it was fine. I was working on the side and I was doing different things. Just do what you have to do, but don't let your focus drift. Just really choose yourself. Keep choosing yourself and keep honoring your vision.
It's so important. I love what you said, don't go into danger, because once we go into that unsafe zone, we're creating from lack anyways.
Exactly.
And then you're in a loop of
it's crazy.
bullshit.
And needy is creepy. Let's be honest. So if you come with this needy energy, people will feel it. It's the opposite of overflow.
And it's really fascinating, the danger part, because I went back after losing and I got a part-time consulting job because now I have enough money coming in that I feel safe to now flow in my business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't love it, but I also don't hate it. And I also am so grateful for it because it's giving me the structure to kind of grow.
Yes.
So when you stepped into coaching, how did you know that this was definitely going to be your thing?
I was full of energy. I was talking about coaching to everyone I was meeting. I still do. Sometimes I hold back because I also want to nourish something else in my life. But I just love it so much, the power of asking the right questions at the right time completely changed my life and still does. So there is something about it that just fills me up. And I light up when I talk about it. So I just knew it.
And your clients, tell me some client success stories that you've got.
Oh my God, so many. I've worked with many entrepreneurs who didn't dare to speak in public. And a lot of them were hiding, saying that, oh no, it's not for them because it's ego driven to be speaking in public and everything. And I worked on that topic specifically with them, which touched me too, because I didn't want to be online. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to speak my voice. And I feel that this is not ours. It's usually because we have to allow life to flow through us. So in the end, it's not about us. It's about the message that wants to go through us. So I would say that today when I see my former clients shining, this is the best win. When they're there to just take their phone and share something very valuable to the world and just be truly themselves, that's such a big win.
What was one of the harder things that you've experienced being a coach? Have you ever had a tough client?
I've had many tough clients, I think. I think I attract tough people because I'm also tough. I look very soft and sweet, but inside I'm really, really tough because of my upbringing, I think. I worked with people who thought that they knew what was best for them, but from a place of the head and not from the place of the heart. So bringing them back to their heart was hard. And sometimes I wanted to see results quickly because I wanted to go somewhere with them. I wanted to get results. And I wouldn't see the results quite yet. But then they would come back to me a bit later saying, hey, I changed so much, but I just needed time to let it land. So this tough love that I gave them actually landed a little bit later sometimes.
I love the mind to the heart, right? Because I think a lot of us are not even in our physical bodies, right? No. We're spending our whole life in the mind. Disassociation, ADHD, OCD, schizophrenia, all of these conditions that we're given that is really just, I'm stuck in my head because I don't feel safe in my body. How do you bring people from the mind to the heart?
Presence. So it starts with yourself as a coach. Like when you hold space, you have to be fully present. You can only do that when you're present to yourself. So there's a learning with that. You have to spend time with yourself, with your thoughts, with your emotions, making space between your thoughts. You can go to retreats if you need to. You can move to Bali and change your life if you need to. and then you can offer it to others. But you will also realize that the more you offer it to others, the more it grows for you, and vice versa. So it's a gift. As you said earlier, it's such a wonderful vocation because you keep growing. As a coach, you're very coachable, so you keep growing all the time. So there is first this presence when you're holding space, and you just let the person experience what it feels to be seen and heard, and ask them the right questions. And a lot of the people that we meet in coaching never had this space because they just run from one thing to another. They try to fill up the space with, fluff and distractions and whatever. And when finally they can just, how do you say? It's like when you have clay in a glass and you let the clay sit and finally you can see clear water. This is the same process. And I really like to let people take their time when they answer me. So they're going to give me the first level of answer, and then I'm going to say, what else? What else is there? And then we're going to take a breath, and then what else? And I let them get deeper and deeper, and then they can reach new levels of answers. And it's just beautiful what grows from there.
The heart place, when we meet there, there's not a single person you can't connect with from the heart. It doesn't matter where you're from, how much money you make, your gender, your race, what you think about anything, Democrat, Republican in America, how none of them can even speak to each other. But when you come to the heart and you come into a place of love and you just can say, I love myself enough that I can love you exactly as you are. Yeah. I'm not going to run. I'm not going to reject you. I'm not going to abandon you. I'm not going to betray you. I'm here fully for you. It's almost uncomfortable in that place, to receive that level of love in the beginning. I'm not worthy of this, right? And that's the big wound I see a lot of people coming with is I'm unworthy of this. Yeah. And no one is unworthy. And I think the programming of religion has been so crazy of like, God is this bad, he's up there, he's judging everything you're doing, he's watching, he's going to punish you. And it's like, no, there's a force that loves you beyond words that just gives you everything you want because you've been made in God's image to create whatever it is you want to create without judgment. Yes, we've got the law of cause and effect and universal laws playing out here. But if you're believing you're unworthy of love, the universe doesn't judge that either. And it just shows you more of that until you choose, I am worthy. Yes. But the universe and God and your friends and your coaches can't choose for you. So when you hold space for somebody, they can actually sit there and get to the place where they give themselves enough grace to face whatever they're feeling. Yes. And they're worthy of taking up space for the first time. Yeah. And then that's all you have to do is just be the light there.
Yeah. I was asked recently in a Q&A on Instagram, how do I keep my client engaged? And I said, well, I give them such a space that they want to come back. Right. Because when you reach that space with someone, you understand that this is available to you. So you get addicted to that. This is what happened to me. I got addicted to being coached because it was like walking back home within myself and discovering how magnificent I am. And then when you open that door, it's just infinite. So you want to know more. You want more of that. So I feel that we're all walking each other's home to really understand that, oh, look how beautiful we are, how wonderful we can do. And this is just a remembrance.
Mm-hmm. Coming home.
Yeah.
And we've gotten so separated from that, right? Believing that we're different and, that one person's more special than another one. It's like, if you look at all of the resources that Mother Earth has provided us, that unlimited abundance of all of the things we can eat from her, right? And then look what we choose to do instead. Yeah. We go and we want to eat chemicals. And like we create all of this chaos when we have beautiful fruits and grains and vegetables just handed to us.
Yeah.
And instead we're like, no, I don't deserve that. Now I'm gonna go make my food because I don't deserve just receiving this beautiful goodness.
Yeah.
And then we separate from the state of nature, and from the state of then it's really hard to come back.
There's a lot of things to unlearn. I think it starts from there. As I said earlier about sleep, we need to unlearn and relearn what feels right and not what we thought looked right and was right from what we learned. That was just a bunch of bullshit in every area, really. Start being curious about where you've been lied to and put things in order again. And this is in our hands.
The big lie, right? The big lie that life is this big punishment and we must be in pain and money is the root of all evil and you can't make money if you do what makes you happy and all of these bullshit programs. You got to get a vaccine because of a virus. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, the whole thing is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. But in order to get out of the game, you got to come in and find out what's true for you. And like you said, taking baby steps is really important. You know, like not everybody's going to quit their, get fired from their job, move to Bali, go on.
Not everybody's as lucky as we are, getting fired.
So true though. So tell me a little bit about these books. Which one's your favorite out of these two?
Last one, Millionaire from the Heart.
Tell me about it.
Well, this is the journey of how I made $1 million in 2022. Since then, I've made multiple millions in my business, all from the heart, respecting my values and my energy. And it's packed with questions. So I wanted to help people both understanding my journey and finding it empowering so that they can actually do it and ask themselves the right questions so that they can walk their own path. Because everybody has a unique journey. There are affirmations at the end of each chapter to really anchor the transformation. This is very transformational. And I have a very good friend. She told me, she said, it took me a little bit of time to read it because I was not sure about the money thing. I feel a bit reluctant to working on the money because I feel that this is not so good. This is a bit, money is not so good. And then she understood it's not about the money. It's about owning your gifts and about truly, truly occupying your rightful space in this world. And the more you do that, then you get side effects like money.
Right.
This is crazy, really.
The more you become, the more you can attract, right?
Exactly.
And allowing yourself to shine in your authenticity. People say that love is the highest vibration. I actually believe it's authenticity.
It's truth. I agree.
And truth. Like, and we're all different, right? And like, I've built my training based on what has been good for me. And I'm publishing my book at the end of the year, and it's my story. It's not going to be for everybody, but it will hit the right people that will come through. And I trust that. And I don't need to be like the coaches that coached me. They already got their niche, right? Yeah. I need to be more me. And the more me I am, the more authentic I am, the more original I am, the more I'm going to attract the people that are the closest to me and then let them go their own way.
Yes.
Right?
This is it. I was aiming for peace, for harmony in my life, and for discovering who I truly am, remembering who I truly am. And then I became rich. So I was not seeking money. I was seeking a level of fulfillment that I didn't feel before. And then it happened. And I know a lot of people who were looking for money and then they burned out and they didn't even make that much money. And then they were resentful for the time that they spent making money. And then they started to say, oh, I was a fool. I was looking for money. Now I'm wise. I'm looking for balance. Well, start from the right position from the beginning. Try to just meet yourself first and then serve, and then it will grow and multiply.
I just think that's the most beautiful line ever, is just, serve from a full cup. So for any client so most of the people that are going to be watching this podcast are experiencing, I would say, chronic burnout, working jobs that aren't really serving them, and they feel stuck. The word is stuck. I'm stuck in the matrix, have you? What would be your advice to them for the first steps? Besides reading this amazing book, you guys, which I'm going to put up for you to link and buy.
I would say the first thing is to explore either something that's itchy, like for example, me, it was my trouble with sleeping, or follow a passion. either or. I would say everybody has something to heal. That's something that's really painful every single day. So go walk this path and then find the clues, because life is smart. It's always happening for us and not against us. And let me tell you, I would have never thought that being an insomniac would be a gift. But actually it was, because it led me to the right path for me. So this was the itchy part for me, for example. But then let me give you a passion part, like something that I was really joyful about. So I started to study Ayurveda after naturopathy, and my teacher was amazing. I told you a little bit about him on the bike. And he wanted to write a book. And I offered my help. I said, hey, I'll help you write your book. I'll be your assistant for free. I just want to learn what you know. I just love what you do. I just want to help. So we wrote a synopsis. I tried to look for publishers. I met a few publishers. It was really getting out of my own way, because as a shy person, that was a bit hard for me to do that job, but I really wanted to help. And they didn't want that book because it was too much of a niche. But they called me back and they said, hey, we liked you. We would like to ask you if you would write naturopathy for dummies. For dummies, the black and yellow books. I was 32 and I had not written a book before. And just because I followed a hinge, there was something about, oh, I want to help that guy. That's really cool what he's doing. Then life rewarded me. So don't underestimate whenever you make a step towards something that you want to fix or something that you're passionate about. Don't underestimate the fact that you're going to make one step, but life will make 10 steps. And this is something that I didn't know about before. And I wish I knew that from being a child, but nobody really taught me how to be brave and to move forward, to move the needle, to make things happen, to step into action. And now I learned my lesson. I do it.
And when you go into writing, is that a completely different part of you? Is that like when you're like, I'm going to write a book? What energy is that coming from, right? Because you're serving your clients, and then do you take sabbaticals to write? Do you write while you're serving clients? How does it come to you?
I write on the beach. Now I write on the beach, which is a smoother process than before, because I used to work and write in Paris, because I used to live in Paris in France, in a very small, like tiny shoebox. And well, it seems very romantic when I say that, but it was not. It was stressful. And facing the blank page, writing from my tiny apartment was really hard. And now I just feel inspired by life. So I take a lot of notes as I'm walking. And actually, Christian, my husband, he found this thought from Nietzsche. It's a quote saying, only the walking thoughts are valuable, which is so true for me now. And then when I go home, then I write my notes in my computer and I put them in order. So this is how I work now. And I just love it. It's flowing. And
because you're letting that source channel through your heart,
yes.
Right? And it's just coming on. It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy.
It's not hard. I think when I first started writing my book, I had this vision that I was going to write my story, and then I was like, well, I can't. And then I decided I was going to hire a ghostwriter. And then on the beach, I randomly bumped into this woman. I ended up hiring her. She lied to me. She wasn't even a ghostwriter.
Oh, no.
I spent a year putting this book together. But long story short, afterwards, I've taken a pause from that. And then I started sitting with Cacao, heart opener. And I sit with her every day. And I sit with her, I close my eyes, and I free write. And then I put my notes in my computer and I organize my thoughts. Yeah. And I took my entire book that I wrote because I didn't think it was good enough. And I put it through ChatGPT, my first draft. And Spirit was like, no. It was your voice we wanted. Yeah. So now I'm redoing it in a really deeply flow place. And it's wild. Like, I would have thought that this book was it but there was something told me like, pause, don't publish. And I'm so glad I didn't, because it was too methodical. And the free flow creativity, that's the magic, And your voice is meant to be heard, not ChatGPT's. Yeah. Right now, I love ChatGPT for silly Instagram and emails and ways to give myself more time to be in the flow, right? So don't shun those tools that we've created to help us with the stuff we don't want to do. But when it's your voice, stop using ChatGPT, people. Yes. Sit with your voice.
This is a big one. Thank you for saying that, because I'm so grateful that we grew up before ChatGPT, because we could develop qualities that people who are actually thinking that the shortcut is the best way will never develop.
No.
And it's all about who you're becoming while you're creating something. It's not about the end goal. It's about every quality that you allow yourself to grow.
What's your next inspiration?
I want to talk about love. And I think I don't know yet how to offer it to the world, but I'm a great lover. I think love is just my first love. I think I spent more time exploring love than I have exploring money, and I'm a millionaire. So you can expect something amazing
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to read it. If people do want to work with you, how can they? How can they get in touch with you?
Well, they can find me online with my name, Anne-Claire Meret. I have a podcast. I have a Substack now. I have Instagram, YouTube. I'm everywhere with my name, and you can also find the free first chapter of my book. You can download it in PDF and audio. I can give you a link, and people want to get a little bit of my work just for discovery. Yeah, welcome into my universe.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And if there was one last word that you could give the people watching, what would it be?
Get up, stand up, and do your magic, because you may think that people who are doing it are, enough people, but they're not. We need so many more. You can only touch that many people. I can only touch that many people. So we want everybody who has something to share to just get up, stand up, and share their voices.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
you.
I just loved this episode with my dear friend Anne-Claire, and she's poured so much wisdom straight from her heart into ours today. We really explored how true wealth is more than numbers and how money becomes magnetic when aligned with love, and how following your heart's call can unlock doors that you never imagined. The treasure she left me with is that money is an amplifier. When guided by the heart, it just magnifies love and impact in this world. And true abundance comes when we release the fear and we trust alignment. And living and earning from the heart creates freedom, joy, and purpose. So if today's conversation awakened something within you and you feel the call to align your purpose with prosperity, I invite you to explore Soul Path Mastery. It's a journey of uncovering your soul's truth, rewiring old patterns, and stepping boldly into a life where abundance flows from your deepest alignment. Thank you for sharing this sacred space with us. And if you loved this episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It really helps me spread community and expand to more souls just like you that want to live and love abundantly. So until next time, remember, wealth is your birthright. Love is your compass and your path is sacred. And as always, I hope you liberate your bliss.